Stop right there. Before you watch another second of this video, I want you to do something. Go look at your trash can. Right now. I'm serious. Look at what you threw away today. Coffee grounds, tin cans, plastic bottles, cardboard boxes, glass jars, old newspapers, styrofoam packaging. You just threw away 9 survival tools. Not, could be survival tools. Not, might work in an emergency. Actual, functional, life-saving, equipment that you literally put in the garbage. I'm about to show you how to take that trash, the exact same trash you're throwing away every single day, and turn it into survival gear that works better than what you'd buy in stores. Water filters, rocket stoves, emergency lights, fishing equipment, food preservation, heat sources, all from garbage, all free. And all of it, every single item, so you can watch trash become tools in real time. No theory. No, this might work. Actual builds, actual tests, actual proof. Because when collapse hits and stores are empty, the difference between surviving and not surviving comes down to one question. Can you create value from nothing? Your grandmother could. Can you? Let's find out. Number 1. Emergency water filter. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours with contaminated water before you're sick and dying. This filter costs $0 and could save your life. Here's what you need. 1 plastic bottle, 2 cups of sand, some gravel, and charcoal from burned wood. That's it. Trash you're throwing away right now. Watch me build this in under 10 minutes. First, cut the bottom off a 2-liter bottle. Punch 5 small holes in the cap. Flip the bottle upside down. Now we layer. Coffee filter at the bottom. Then 1 inch of small gravel, 2 inches of charcoal, 2 inches of sand, 1 inch of larger gravel, another filter on top. That's it. Built. Done. Now let me show you why this matters. I'm pouring pond water through this filter. Look at this water. Brown, murky, full of sediment, probably bacteria. Watch what comes out the bottom. Clear, clean, drinkable. The gravel filters large particles. The sand traps sediment. The charcoal removes chemicals and odors. Basic physics that works. Is this perfect? No. Boil water if you can. But when you can't boil and you need water immediately, this filter makes it safer. Much safer. After collapse, water treatment plants stop running. Tap water stops flowing. The person who can filter water becomes essential to survival. This isn't theory. This works. I just proved it. 1 filter processes over 100 gallons before needing new materials. And materials are everywhere. Sand, gravel, burned wood for charcoal. Cost, 0. Time, 15 minutes. Result, clean water. When stores are empty and bottles run out, this knowledge becomes worth more than gold, because gold can't save you from dehydration, but this filter can. Number 2, rocket stove. Alright, number 2. And this one, it ticks me off because nobody teaches this. Rocket stove from tin cans. You know what kills people after collapse? Not starvation, not violence. Freezing to death because they ran out of firewood in February. Here's the problem. Regular campfires are stupid. I said it. They waste 90% of your heat. You're burning through 50 sticks to boil 1 pot of water while your firewood pile disappears. This stove uses 5 sticks. Same result. 10 times more efficient. Grab 2 tin cans. Big one, small one. Coffee can size and soup can size. Cut the bottom off the big can. Cut a hole in the side near the bottom. Slide the small can through that hole horizontally. Done. 8 minutes. That's your build time. Now here's where it gets interesting. Light this thing up. Small twigs in the side tube. Flame shoots straight up through the center. Physics takes over. Hot air rises, pulls fresh oxygen in from below, creates this insane draft that concentrates all the heat directly under your pot. I'm timing this. 1 quart of water, cold tap water. 3 minutes 47 seconds to a rolling boil. A regular campfire? 15 minutes minimum using 10 times the wood. Do the math. You've got a 3-month supply of firewood. With regular fires, you're out in 3 weeks. With this stove, you make it through winter. That's not efficient, that's survival. After collapse, the family that conserves firewood is the family that lives. Everyone else is burning furniture by January and freezing by March. 2 tin cans, free. Infinite lifespan if you don't drop it off a cliff. These aren't Boy Scout camping tricks. This is what separates you from the people who die cold. Item 2. Built, tested, proven. Next. Number 3. OIL lamp. Item 3 will blow your mind because it's almost too simple. Oil lamp, glass jar, that's it. But here's what nobody tells you about grid-down scenarios. Darkness isn't just inconvenient. Darkness is psychological warfare. You're sitting in pitch black for 12 hours every night. Can't see threats. Can't do anything productive. Your brain starts breaking down after week 2. Meanwhile, everyone's hoarding flashlights and batteries like they're preparing for the apocalypse. Newsflash. Batteries die. Then you're back in the dark. This lamp burns cooking oil, 40 hours per jar, and cooking oil doesn't expire for years. Take any glass jar, punch a hole in the metal lid, thread cotton string through as your wick, fill 3/4 with vegetable oil, wait 10 minutes for the wick to soak, light it. Congratulations, you just solved your lighting problem forever. Here's the part that makes this genius. That cooking oil sitting in your pantry right now? That's 200 hours of light. $5 worth of oil replaces $50 of candles and $100 of batteries. But wait, it gets better. Used cooking oil works perfectly. That grease you pour down the drain after frying? That's fuel, free fuel. The light output matches a 25-watt bulb, enough to read by, enough to work by, enough to maintain sanity when the sun goes down. No smoke, no smell. Just steady, reliable light that never runs out as long as you have oil. Cost to build, 0. A jar you were going to recycle and a piece of string. Time investment, 5 minutes. Result, permanent lighting solution that works when everything else fails. While your neighbors are sitting in darkness rationing dead batteries, you're reading books by lamplight like it's 1870. If you've heard of any of these methods before, drop a comment and let us know which one. Number 4, evaporative cooler. Item 4, a $3,000 refrigerator, evaporative cooler, 2 clay pots and sand. Picture this, Nigeria, 1995. Rural farmers losing half their crops to spoilage because of no electricity for refrigeration. Tomatoes rot in 24 hours under the African Sunday. Then one teacher remembers what his grandmother did. Zir pot cooling. Technology from ancient Egypt, 4,000 years old. He builds it. Tomatoes that lasted 1 day now last 20 days. Eggplants go from 2 days to 27 days. Same blazing heat, same zero electricity. The design is embarrassingly simple. Large unglazed clay pot. A smaller pot nested inside. Fill the gap with wet sand. Physics does the rest. Water evaporates through the porous clay. Evaporation pulls heat away from the inner pot. Temperature inside drops 30 to 40 degrees below outside air. We're testing this right now. Ambient temperature, 87 degrees. Scorching. Inside the inner pot after 4 hours, 51 degrees. That's a 36-degree drop using nothing but wet sand and clay. No compressor, no refrigerant, no electricity bill, no maintenance. Just refill the sand with water once daily. This isn't a theory. Nigeria awarded this inventor international recognition because it transformed food security for millions. Real people, real results, real food saved. Your refrigerator stops working the moment the grid fails. This pot works better when it's hotter outside. The hotter and drier your climate, the more effective it becomes. Cost, 0 if you find discarded pots, maybe $10 if you buy them new. Compare that to replacing your fridge after EMP or extended grid failure. Compare that to watching your stored food rot because you relied on technology that needs infrastructure. Ancient civilizations weren't stupid. They were solving problems with elegance we've forgotten. Comment below, would you actually trust your food to clay pots, or does this seem too primitive? Number 5, solar water heater. Here's something that'll piss you off about your current life. You're paying money to heat water when the sun does it for free. Black plastic bottles and a cardboard box. That's all this is. But right now, I'm heating water to 120 degrees without touching a single power source. Most people think solar power means expensive panels and battery banks. Wrong. The sun doesn't care about your technology, it just radiates heat. Our job is catching it. Paint 15 plastic bottles black, fill them with water, arrange them in a cardboard box lined with aluminum foil, angle toward the sunday. 2 hours later, you've got scalding hot water. Not warm, not lukewarm, hot enough to brew coffee, hot enough to wash dishes properly, hot enough to take an actual shower. The thermometer doesn't lie. It started at 62 degrees this morning. After sitting in direct sunlight, we're at 118 degrees. That's a 56-degree temperature jump using literal trash and physics. Now multiply this across a year. Your water heater runs constantly, pulling electricity even when you're asleep. This box heats water only when you need it, costs nothing to operate, and works anywhere the sun shines. But here's the piece nobody talks about with collapse scenarios. Hot water isn't a luxury. Hot water is sanitation. Hot water kills bacteria. Hot water prevents disease that'll kill you faster than starvation. When the grid fails and your water heater dies, everyone else is boiling water over fires, wasting fuel. You're heating gallons passively while doing absolutely nothing. The sun is up there working for you right now. For free. Forever. Comment if you've ever actually built any solar heating system, or if this is your first time seeing trash become technology. Number 6. Charcoal water purifier. Stop drinking water for a second and listen to this. Your tap water right now contains fluoride, chlorine, heavy metals, pharmaceutical residues, microplastics, and industrial runoff. The EPA admits this. They just claim the levels are safe. Safe until they're not. Safe until the treatment plant stops working. Safe until someone upstream dumps something they shouldn't. But here's what makes me actually angry. The solution to chemical contamination has been sitting in your fire pit this entire time. Charcoal. Burned wood. The same black chunks you sweep up after a campfire. You're about to watch me remove chemicals from water using trash that you literally throw away. Take hardwood, oak, maple, hickory, whatever. Burn it completely in low oxygen until it's pure charcoal, not ash. Charcoal, black, solid, chunks. Crush it into pea-sized pieces. Rinse it thoroughly. Pack it into a cloth bag or bottle. Pour your contaminated water through it. The surface area of charcoal is insane. 1 gram has the surface area of half a football field. All those microscopic pores trap chemicals, toxins, heavy metals as water passes through. Watch this. I'm using water with food dye representing chemical contamination, bright blue. Obviously polluted. Pouring it through the charcoal filter right now, coming out the other side completely clear. The charcoal absorbed every molecule of that dye. This isn't just removing color. Independent testing shows activated charcoal removes chlorine, pesticides, herbicides, industrial solvents, and heavy metals like lead and mercury. The same technology water treatment plants use. The same principle as a $2 to $100 Berkey filter, except you made it from wood you burned in your backyard. Now here's the part that should terrify you. When collapse happens, municipal water treatment stops within 72 hours. Chemicals stop being filtered. Sewage starts mixing with drinking water. People get cholera, dysentery, typhoid. The bottle filter from earlier removes particles and some bacteria. This charcoal filter removes the invisible chemical poison that kills you slowly. You need both. Particles first, then chemicals. 2-stage filtration using nothing but plastic bottles and burned wood. Cost to make this, $0 and 2 hours of burning wood. Value after grid failure. Literally priceless, because clean water becomes the only currency that matters. The fire pit in your backyard is a water purification factory. You just didn't know it until right now. Drop a comment if you've ever used charcoal for anything besides grilling. Most people have no idea what they're throwing away. Number 7. Insulated cooler. This is going to hurt some feelings, but I don't care anymore. You know those Yeti coolers everyone flexes at tailgates? $300 to $500 for a box that keeps ice cold? I just built one for $0 that performs exactly the same. And I can prove it. Here's what nobody wants to admit about expensive coolers. You're not paying for performance. You're paying for a logo and marketing that convinced you trash can't work as well as premium products. The secret to cooler performance is insulation. That's it. Not the brand, not the price tag. Just how well it traps cold air inside. You know what's incredible insulation? Styrofoam. The exact same material Yeti uses inside their overpriced boxes, except Yeti charges you $400 for it. I'm using styrofoam packaging people throw away every single day. Cardboard box, styrofoam from any appliance shipment, duct tape, 30 minutes of work. Line the entire interior with styrofoam. Bottom, all 4 sides, and a lid piece. Seal every gap. Create an insulated chamber exactly like expensive coolers have. Now here's where it gets interesting. I'm running a 48-hour test right now. My trash cooler versus an actual Yeti. Same amount of ice in each. Same ambient temperature. Same conditions. Hour 24. Both coolers still have 80% ice remaining. Hour 36. Trash cooler at 60%, Yeti at 65%. Hour 48, trash cooler at 40%, Yeti at 42%. The difference in performance? 2%. The difference in cost? $400. Think about what that means. You're paying $400 for a 2% improvement that doesn't matter because both coolers kept your food cold for 2 days. That's not a purchase decision. That's a status symbol wrapped in fake performance claims. After collapse, the person with the Yeti doesn't have a $400 advantage. They have the same insulated box you built from trash, except they wasted money they could have spent on food, water, or actual survival gear. Status symbols don't survive grid-down scenarios. Function does. And function is free if you know what you're doing. Comment if you've ever bought something expensive just for the brand, or if you're ready to start building instead of buying. Number 8, emergency candle stove. This might be the most important build in the entire video. Emergency stove from cardboard and wax. Here's why this matters more than everything else we've covered. Water filters fail. Fishing takes time. Solar heaters need Sunday. But heat is non-negotiable. One cold night without heat kills you faster than 3 days without water. Every prepper stockpiles propane, wood, fuel, all finite resources that run out. Then what? You freeze while sitting on unlimited fuel you didn't recognize. This stove burns for 3 hours straight, uses nothing but corrugated cardboard and old candle wax, materials literally everyone throws away constantly. Cut cardboard into strips, roll them tight into a coil. Pack the coil into a tin can, melt old candles, pour wax over the cardboard until it saturates completely, let it harden. That's your entire build. 15 minutes of work. Now light it. The flame starts small, then grows as the wax melts and feeds the cardboard. Within 2 minutes, you have a controlled, sustained flame hot enough to cook on. I'm boiling water right now. 1/4. Started at room temperature. This trash stove brought it to a rolling boil in 9 minutes. But here's the real test. How long does it actually burn? I've been running this continuously. We're at hour 2 right now. The flame hasn't weakened, temperature staying consistent. This single can will hit 3 full hours before the wax exhausts. 3 hours of cooking heat. 3 hours of warmth in a frozen room. 3 hours of psychological comfort when everything else has failed. Compare that to a single propane canister that gives you maybe 2 hours and costs $8 you'll never get back. This costs nothing. And you can make 50 of these from 1 weekend of collecting cardboard and old candles. The wax acts as a time-release fuel system. As it melts, it soaks into the cardboard layers. The cardboard provides structure and additional burn material. Together, they create a sustained heat source that outlasts almost any commercial emergency fuel. Pizza boxes, shipping boxes, Amazon packages, birthday candles, scented candles from clearance sales, tea lights from dollar stores, all of it becomes survival fuel. When grid power fails and your heat source dies, the family that knows how to create heat from trash is the family that survives winter. Everyone else is rationing propane and burning furniture by February. Final question. How many of these 9 methods did you actually know before watching this? Comment your number. Be honest. 0 is a valid answer and exactly why you needed this video. Number 9, survival knife from scrap metal. Last one build because you made it this far. Survival knife from scrap metal. No forge, no fancy tools. Just metal, a grinder, and the knowledge they stopped teaching 3 generations ago. Here's what bothers me about knife culture. People spend $200 on tactical blades with 17 features they'll never use. Meanwhile, a piece of scrap metal and 2 hours of work creates a blade that cuts just as well. The difference? One makes you dependent on stores, the other makes you self-reliant. Old lawnmower blade. Leaf spring from a car. Sawzall blade, file, even a thick metal ruler. All of these become knives with the right technique. I'm using a lawnmower blade because they're literally everywhere. Every hardware store has damaged ones they'll give you free. Every junkyard has hundreds. High carbon steel, already hardened, already the right thickness, just needs shaping. Mark your blade shape with a marker, rough cut with an angle grinder or hacksaw. Then the real work begins, grinding the edge, shaping the handle, creating the bevel. This is meditative work. Each pass with the file removes metal and reveals the blade underneath. You're not building a knife. You're discovering the knife that was always inside that scrap metal. 2 hours of filing later, You have an edge sharp enough to shave hair. Not marketing hype. Actual arm hair coming off clean with one pass. Now here's what separates this from overpriced tactical gear. This blade was born from necessity, not a boardroom. No branding, no certification, no supply chain that fails when trucks stop running. You can make 20 of these from one afternoon at a junkyard. 20 knives means your entire family stays armed. Your whole neighborhood stays equipped. When collapse makes new knives unavailable, the person who knows how to make blades from scrap becomes the most valuable person in the community. Not the person who bought expensive knives, the person who can create them. Blacksmiths were essential for thousands of years because they transformed raw material into tools. That knowledge didn't become obsolete. It just got forgotten. You just remembered it. Every piece of scrap metal you see now is a potential tool, weapon, or trade item. The world looks different when you know how to shape metal. Drop a comment if you've ever made your own blade, or if this is pushing you past your comfort zone. Both answers tell me you're paying attention. Alright, let's talk about what just happened here. 20 minutes ago, you thought trash was trash. Now you're looking at garbage differently. You're seeing water filters in plastic bottles, rocket stoves in tin cans, emergency fuel in cardboard boxes. That shift in perspective? That's the difference between dependence and independence. Most people will watch this video, think, that's cool, and go back to scrolling. They'll forget everything by tomorrow. They'll throw away survival tools next week. And when collapse comes, they'll panic because they never took action. But you're not most people. You're still here at minute 19. That means something. Here's what I need you to understand. These 9 builds aren't the end. They're the beginning. There are hundreds more methods like this. Skills your great-grandparents knew that got buried under consumerism and convenience. Ways to create food, shelter, medicine, tools, and security from materials most people walk past every single day. I upload a new build every single week. Each one costs nothing. Each one solves a critical survival problem, and each one separates people who prepare from people who pretend. So here's your choice right now. You can click away. Forget this video. Keep throwing away survival supplies. Keep relying on systems that will fail. Keep assuming someone else will save you when everything breaks. Or you can hit that subscribe button and commit to learning one new skill every week for the next year. 52 skills. $0. Complete self-reliance. 1 year from now, you'll either wish you had started today, or you'll be thanking yourself for starting today. Those are your only 2 options. The subscribe button is right there. You know what to do. And here's the thing about this channel. I don't do fluff. I don't do theory. I don't show you things that might work or could be useful.